In June 2026, Magnus Carlsen arrived in Oslo for the 14th edition of Norway Chess. It was a disaster.
And Ali Reza picks up 3 points against the world number 1.
He lost 4 classical games and finished 4th out of 6 players.
He just completely crushed me, but I didn't care a lot.
The chess world said this might be the worst tournament of his career. But it wasn't. The last time Carlsen lost 4 classical games in a single tournament was also at Norway Chess in 2015. 3 months before Norway Chess, Carlsen won the Shamkir tournament in Azerbaijan. There, he scored 7 out of 9, with a performance rating of 2,983. He arrived at Norway Chess 2015 rated 2,876. After losing the previous 2 Norway Chess tournaments to Sergei Karyakin by fine margin, it felt that, finally, it was time for him to take back the throne. Round 1. Carlsen chose a quiet positional variation of the semi-Slav, hoping the solid structure would not suit Topolov's sharp, tactical style. Carlsen's position became increasingly promising. However, the game began to get complicated around move 27. Eventually, Topolov found a freeing piece sacrifice that liquidated into a queen and opposite-colored bishop's endgame. Objectively, this endgame was likely drawn with best play. Carlsen, however, is perhaps the best player in the world in these exact endings. He ground it down slowly and actually achieved what looked like a winning position. Approaching move 60, Magnus was winning. Having just reached the second time control, Magnus sat down to double-check that the variation starting with bishop c4 check led to a forced mate. Except that there wasn't a second time control. The tournament regulations clearly stated that there was no added time after move 60. Believing there was, Magnus let his flag fall and lost on time.
What heartbreak.
On the verge of winning, Magnus Carlsen loses because he did not know that after 60 moves there was no extra time, and he let his clock run out and loses the game.
That's incredible, especially in a position like that where even if he doesn't know if he's winning, okay, you can never lose in 100 years and you probably are winning. You just want to make sure what the way is.
What a dramatic way to end this game.
Actually, the time control had changed that year. 2 hours for 40 moves, then 60 minutes to finish the game. No second time control at move 60. That day, Magnus Carlsen arrived late, and he missed the announcement. This blunder would prove so psychologically damaging to Magnus that he ended up having the worst tournament of his career. In round 2, Carlsen faced Fabiano Caruana. Carlsen, already 0-1 and feeling pressure, played Berlin defense. He introduced a novelty on move 12 with bishop f5. But Caruana had deeper preparation he could deploy, and with tactical precision, he managed to achieve a dominating position. Caruana finished it off smoothly.
You've dug yourself into a very big hole. What do you do now?
Well, I've won tournaments before in which I've lost to Fabiano. He's a very strong player, and when you combine that with a bad day of mine, it's possible to lose to him with the black pieces, that's for sure.
Now Carlsen desperately needed a win. His opponent was Anish Giri.
He's one of the, if you look at my scores with other players, he's one of the easiest opponents for me. So that's not the problem, but all the others are big.
The others are going to be tough.
Yes.
He still has the bragging rights in our individual encounters, so good for him.
Carlsen cannot afford a draw. He plays the Sicilian Rosolimo structure and pushes. The game goes 76 moves, but Giddy never cracks. It ends in a draw. Then came round 4, and Vichy Anand. This was personal. Carlsen had beaten him twice in the World Chess Championship. Carlsen, with black, tried to make things complicated, playing too ambitiously in a position where he should have been content to equalize. This backfired. He quickly found himself with a harder position to manage. Anand was completely comfortable and steadily outplayed him. The game lasted 47 moves.
Magnus Carlsen starts with half out of 4. When was the last time this happened? Was it like 10 years ago?
After 4 rounds, world champion Magnus Carlsen was last. Half a point in 4 games.
Big shock for everybody here in the tournament is the position of the World Chess Champion. Share your impressions as a player in the event, watching the World Champion in the cellar.
I would think that it's logical that at some point he has a bad tournament because he's a human. What is more surprising is that this is finally the first time that he's playing so badly.
This was the worst start to a major event he had suffered since 2005. The mood in Norway at this point had shifted from shock to genuine concern. Chess media globally was publishing articles about Carlsen's unprecedented early tournament struggles. This hadn't happened at this level to the world champion in living memory. After round 4, rest day was given. Carlsen has had time to breathe. And in round 5, Carlsen finally showed some fight. Grishik was struggling with time management throughout the tournament. Playing white in the Sicilian Najdorf, Magnus gradually built pressure and won the game in 45 moves. First win of the tournament. It stopped the bleeding and gave him something to build on. Meanwhile, Topalov remained in the lead, having beaten Ludwig Hammer the same day. Keep Ludwig in mind. He is very important in this story. In round 8, Carlsen got his second win of the tournament in 40 moves, beating Aronian cleanly in a Roy Lopez. Aronian was in poor form throughout the tournament, and Carlsen was able to convert without too much drama. By this point, any chance of a meaningful tournament result was long gone. Topalov was on the verge of winning the event, and Carlsen was just playing out the tournament from 7th place. But with 2 wins and 2 draws in the last 4 games, he had one more chance to end the week with something in the last round. His opponent in round 9 is John Ludwig Hammer. John Ludwig Hammer was Carlsen's friend and his training partner. He was the wild card in this tournament, the local qualifier who won a rapid match to earn his seat at the table. And he was dead last in the points table. But Hammer had done his homework. He'd prepared specifically for Carlsen. He knew him, the way you only know someone after years of working together. Carlsen walked into a trap in the opening and let Hammer get a much better position and the initiative right out of the opening. By move 10, Carlsen was spending enormous amounts of time, eventually playing King H8, a move that put him in serious trouble before the middle game had even truly started. And then, at move 27, with Hammer playing b3, there was still a draw available. Carlsen just had to find c5, but he played rook d8, and the game was over. The game ended on move 34.
There it is! There it is! Hammer won his first game of Norway chess
Against Magnus Carlsen in this way?
Carlsen's worst tournament in a decade ended with a defeat to his own training partner and countryman.